Oh, I'm sure that one hurt. Hope he's alright, man. Jeez. Yo, what up, my good people, and welcome back for a brand new episode. Alright, in this episode, we're gonna kick back and watch some TikToks that just might make you rethink reality. Some of these TikToks might have you sitting back in your chair like, that was crazy. What is going on here? What in the f?
Are we going to talk about how maybe the franchise itself is just cursed? Like, if you ever watched The Dark Side of Wizard of Oz or any, like, gone down the Wizard of Oz rabbit hole, there is a lot of really dark stuff that happened on that original set, especially to Judy Garland, but, like, even just a lot of other stuff on that set, like, that couldn't really be explained. Like, there was an unaliving on the set, even the Wicked Witch of the West, like, this particular green that she was like a really dangerous kind of paint that they were using, and I know it caused like a lot of lifelong problems. Same thing with the Tin Man, like whatever they used to paint his skin silver was actually lead based. Judy Garland's diet was absolutely insane and changed the course of her entire life, like with her relationship with food, because specifically of this role. I think they said she had to consume like nothing but coffee, apples, and cigarettes all day, and she was like 14 years old. Do you know there's even like a Wizard of Oz theme park that got closed down because there was also some kind of weird curse on that? And I'm a Wizard of Oz fan, like, and a Wicked fan. I have been looking forward to this movie, but just seeing the stark similarities between Judy Garland before and after the movie, and then seeing Ariana and Cynthia before the movie and after is just like, it's alarming. This was them before the filming of this movie, then after. Like, what is it with this franchise? I don't know. Strikingly similar.
If you ask me, that movie is definitely cursed.
Did y'all see that there's also these new Tesla dogs as well? Elon Musk is not playing, y'all. He literally made a dog to replace your dog. Not only that, but they came out with a Tesla horse. And they also have a cheetah Tesla prototype that they're working on currently right now, y'all. And this thing is doing all kinds of flips and tricks. And get a little of this, not only that, but they also have a monkey prototype that they are currently working on. What is Elon Musk trying to do? What is going on? Why is Tesla creating all these things? I mean, did you hear what Elon Musk had to say? Y'all, check this out.
Probably none of us will have a job. There will be, but in that benign scenario, there will be universal high income. Not universal basic income, universal high income. There will be no shortage of business. If the computer can do, and the robots can do everything better than you, then what does your life have meaning?
And I guess this is the reason why they're creating all these animals to go with these humans, and then these robots trying to be us.
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are.
And the crazy thing is, this is supposedly happening in our lifetime. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait for movies to come out. This is happening right now. But yes, y'all, let me know what you guys think about this video. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
I can hardly afford the English Bulldog I've always wanted my whole life. No way in hell I'd be able to afford one of Elon's robot dogs.
This guy was rated by the FBI for AI generating music on Spotify, and he earned an 8-figure fortune while doing it. 52-year-old Michael Smith of North Carolina is a music producer, or maybe more of just an AI prompt writer in this particular case, because he used AI to generate music, uploaded it to Spotify and Apple Music, and would then send swarms of listening bots to stream the music and get paid for it. Yes, AI generated music streamed by bots. This really is the dead internet theory coming to life. He's currently being charged with wire fraud conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracy, totaling to a combined maximum of 60 years in prison. But many are quick to point out that he technically didn't break any direct laws, as music streaming fraud isn't a crime yet. It is against streaming platforms like Spotify terms of service for sure, but company policy is not the same as the law. He first found out how to send listening bots to his songs on streaming platforms without getting detected back in 2017. But he realized he'd get caught real quick if just a small handful of his songs by an unknown artist got billions of views. So when AI-generated music first became a thing, he saw the opportunity of a lifetime. Working with the CEO of an AI music company, he started producing hundreds of thousands of songs generated by AI to send his army of listening bots to, made under thousands of different fake artist names like Callio Bloom, Callus Humane, Callus Ness, Com Baseball, Com Innovation, and Com Knuckles. Clearly AI generated. Even the album art was AI generated. Like, what in the f is this? And even weirder song names like Zygo Fissier, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these, in combination with thousands of fake names, emails, accounts, and VPNs to help make his streams look as legitimate as possible. He collected a total of $10 million in royalties from the music streaming giants between 2017 and 2024, racking in over $1 million a year. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a sample of any of his songs anywhere online, as they've all been scrubbed clean from every music streaming platform and website I could find. But let me know if any of you come across them. I'd love to listen me some Callio Bloom and hear just what kind of AI music was topping the charts all these years.
They really gave this man 60 years in prison?
Here are some of the best things that you can do to make sure your brain continues to function properly. First are preventative measures. You want to stay away from the refined carbs, the refined sugars, the Jolly Ranchers, the Mountain Dew. All that does is deteriorate the neurons of your brain, which can ultimately cause Alzheimer's disease and reduce cognitive functioning. I would suggest taking lion's mane mushroom capsules. These stimulate the growth of brain cells and also enhance memory and focus. They also can protect against neurodegeneration, which is associated with Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. And I will eat a lot of walnuts and Brazil nuts. These are really high in omega-3 fatty acids, which is great for brain health and to increase cognitive function. And they are also high in selenium, which is also a great antioxidant for the brain and can protect against brain damage.
Living in a town with internet cut off for days in a row has caused people to mass purchase physical media. Look at how empty the movie section of Walmart is. I have straight up never seen it like this. People even also went to GameStop to ask if they had movies or Xbox 360s. Man, let me tell y'all something about this. I always tell the homies and my family to collect their favorite physical media, because if the grid goes down, you ain't gonna be watching shit if you don't already own it. And you gotta own it on CD. Ain't none of that saving into no, internet archive, because if the grid is out, ain't no accessing that shit. Now, I'm gonna show y'all my collection. Been collecting media for a long time, man. Y'all better get hip, okay? Because at least you'll have the stuff that you like. These people in Walmart are just getting whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, I say that to say, go ahead and get y'all collection up, man. Go ahead and get y'all collection up.
All I need is some books and board games, and I'm good to go.
When you're aware of the universe is aware of you. When you ignore the universe, then you no longer exist to the universe itself. But the moment that you look at it, the universe looks back and smiles.
It's a mirror, and it's a mirror of your energy too. Absolutely. And I try to tell people that because we know that through the double slit experiment that, electrons are conscious because they make conscious decisions. That means that everything is conscious. And if everything is conscious, then we have to treat everything with a certain level of respect and dignity and grace. That's exactly what you're talking about. Imagine teaching your kids from the time they're born that their clothes, their backpack is conscious.
Everything's alive.
Everything's alive. And if they understood that and you taught them respect and dignity towards those things, they wouldn't disrespect their toys, their clothes, and others, because they'd be brought up believing that everything is alive.
What topic is no one talking about now that historians will study in the future?
It's the insanity of the mental health industry that is destroying the mental health of America, making diagnoses based on symptom clusters with no biological data, then drugging people. Last year, there were 337 million prescriptions for antidepressants. 27% of all doctor visits, no matter the specialty, 27% someone's leaving with a prescription for a benzodiazepine like Xanax or Valium. This is an insane time. And they call me crazy, and I'm not crazy. They're going to be talking about this dark period in psychiatry for centuries to come.
Jesus.
I agree, and the way they handle mental health these days is so not cool. If anything, it's making it worse.
And that's exactly why dogs have randomly been dying every single day. And this doctor was fired after he exposed all these details that were meant to be hidden. Just listen to this.
The one food I would never give my own dog. Extremely poor quality dry kibble. It's carb loaded. Their first ingredient is cornmeal, a very unhealthy protein in the form of meat meal. The FDA, they allow animals that have died other than by slaughter, aka potentially disease, potentially euthanasia. And these are animals which be turned into meal. If it says meal, it's very poor quality, really high potential for contaminants, avoid it. This food is artificially preserved. It says right here, it's been preserved with BHA. That's an artificial preservative. It's been linked to cancer.
Dr. Andrew was talking about kibble and how it's extremely poisonous for your dog to consume. So after hearing that, I did some research and I found that there actually are some things that you can add to make your dog's kibble healthy. And if you add things like vegetables and pumpkin and probiotics to your dog's kibble, not only will they be happier, but they'll also be healthier for many more years. And some of the easiest ways to tell if your dog is negatively affected by a kibble diet is if they have trouble sleeping at night, they constantly have too much or not enough energy, they're constantly stretching and showing visible discomfort, and most importantly, that they're constantly barking at random things. Before you spend thousands of dollars to change your dog's diet, you should know that you can easily get away with this. I've been feeding my dog this vet-recommended probiotic every single day mixed in with his kibble. And over the last 2 weeks, I've seen a noticeable difference in his energy levels and his overall mood.
Man, they're really out here trying to poison our dogs, y'all. What a shame.
É tudo normal, como falei. A minha filha, a gerente da meu bebê, minha menininha. Você acha bem estar dessa forma? Não, eu choro todo dia com vontade de me matar. Qual o procedimento mais complicado que você fez? Por incrível que pareça, para mim, eu acredito que
if I ever bumped into this dude at a bar, I'd be going right back home and praying. That's a damn demon.
You're not afraid it's gonna break?
Oh man, ouch. That looked like it hurt.
So while everyone's obsessed with the Tyson fight, the aliens, the election, and everything else that's going on, nobody is talking about the fact that the Pentagon just failed their 7th in a row annual audit, having lost or unaccounted for $800 billion, which last year they lost over $1 trillion in accounting. So they're spending money that we have no idea where it goes, and yet I'm working 4 months out of the year for free, busting my ass doing tile work and running my business just to give that money to the government so they can send it to Ukraine, Lebanon, the rainforest, to send it to everybody in the world except for giving it back to our citizens and giving it to our people, our homeless. We got the borders open. What in the world is going on with our country right now, and why are we paying taxes? Why are we still paying taxes? Why don't we look at these people and say, you know what? Enough is enough. Kick rocks, shove it up your... Go on somewhere. I'm done with it. I'm so done with working so many months out of the year for completely free in a manual labor job, busting my tail to put back into the economy just so that they can give my money to everybody else, and it does not benefit me nor my family any. Our infrastructure is crumbling. Our borders wide open. We got MS-13 and Venezuelan gangs in Tennessee and North Carolina where I live. I'm tired of it, folks. What are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? Nobody's doing anything.
Trust me, bro. I'm sure a majority of us feel the exact same way. It's crazy out here, man.
The weird US laws that may blow your mind. In Arizona, for example, it is illegal for donkeys to sleep in a bathtub, but there's nothing about swimming pools. In Virginia, hunting on Sundays is prohibited, unless it's raccoons. In Michigan, you can't sell your car on Sundays. In North Carolina, you can't camp in a cemetery. It's forbidden. Be careful in Arkansas, where you can't honk outside a sandwich shop after 9 p.m. In Alabama, it is illegal to drive a car while wearing a blindfold. In Hawaii, you should be careful with coins. Putting them in your ear is prohibited here. If you're in Idaho and you're 88 years old, forget about a motorcycle. After 88, it's unlawful to drive one there. And in Georgia, you can't live on a boat for more than 30 days. In Kentucky, women are not allowed to marry the same man more than 4 times. In New Jersey, wearing a bulletproof vest during a crime is illegal and doubles your penalties. And if after all that, you decide to leave the country through an airport in Maine, know that it's forbidden to gamble while waiting for your flight.
IKEA CEO is saying that the economy is so bad, shoppers are behaving exactly like they did during the 2008 financial crisis. Customers are in full-on recession mode. They're seeing customers pull back left and right, refusing to buy anything but the essentials, and many times even delaying buying the essentials. If this story sounds familiar, it's because it is. Multiple companies from retail to food to restaurants are seeing the exact same behavior where customers are pulling back. The fact that this CEO is directly comparing it to 2008, the financial crisis, means that the situation is much worse than what we've been hearing. Keep in mind that during the lockdown, many people went on furniture buying sprees. Since people could do nothing more than stay at home, there was a huge focus on upgrading the experience at home. Of course, many people also had the benefit of a stimulus check and a stronger labor market. Unfortunately, those days are long behind us now, and people are holding on to every cent that they possibly can. IKEA is one of the biggest companies in the world, and if they're seeing people behave like it was 2008, it's definitely worth paying attention to because it is not good news for the economy.
What do they expect? The price of everything nowadays is so sky high. We can barely afford groceries.
Let's talk about the septic tank diver from Craigslist. Fair warning, no surprise, it's gross. So sometime in the late 2000s, early 2010s, people began seeing this ad pop up on Craigslist, and it garnered a lot of attention very quickly. The ad is for a man willing to pay you up to $150 an hour to enter your tank. He says he doesn't care if you judge him for it, it's what he enjoys, and it's actually a great place to reflect. He also enjoyed posting videos of himself reflecting online for others to see. The full video here is around 1:30 long, and it's fucking disgusting, but he seems to be having a pretty good time. I'm sure you're wondering now, who is the man behind the mask? There's no way to say for sure who this guy is, but everywhere you look online, the name that's almost always tied to this man is Gary Moody. This is Gary Moody, and he was arrested twice, once in 2005 and once in 2009 for doing something very similar. In 2005, Gary was spotted in the waste vault beneath the women's restroom at White Mountain National Forest. Gary claimed that he dropped his wedding ring and climbed into the vault to retrieve it while he was in the women's room for some reason. And in 2009, a 9-year-old boy saw Gary in the waste vault of another restroom. This time, Gary claimed that he had dropped his t-shirt down there and climbed in to retrieve it. Gary said that he found public restrooms really disgusting, so he put his t-shirt on the toilet before sitting down. Obviously, that does not make any sense. When police told him that that didn't make any sense, he went quiet. And when police asked if Gary had ever went to therapy for this, he apparently said that he had anger towards the world after he was caught in the vault the first time in 2005.
You couldn't pay me $150 million to do that job. Seriously, what is wrong with some people?
I understand why monks don't fight, don't argue. Because it's one of those things where you can have the keys to life, or you can have the keys to success. Or not even that. Say if somebody wanted to be where you are, and you sat down and you gave them the exact blueprint, and it would get them exactly where they wanted to be, right? In some space, right, they would still question you. They would still fight against you. So it's from the monk syndrome, there's no need to force feed knowledge or force feed better life or force feed anything. It's on me to stay reserved, harness my energy, and when people seek it out, be honest about it.
Dude, I hope she's alright. That looked rough.
I'm here at the gym. Hear me out, you guys. I just had a thought, and I wanted to share it since we are talking about this blood type, this Rh negative factor. Excuse me. I know some of you corrected me in my last video. It's a factor, not a type. If you have A, that's the type. The factor would be Rh positive or negative. Let's go forward. Here's another theory. Instead of stating that the angels fell and mated with humans, and that's what created the Rh negative factor in some of us, hear me out. Rh stands for rhesus monkey, right? So this protein, they named it after the rhesus monkey. That's why it's called Rh, and that's why Rogam is spelled Rh. So if the angels fell from grace and defiled humanity, they're angels, right? They're spiritual beings. What makes us think that they didn't fall from grace and defile animals? Hold on, because what actually is this? Or this? You know, back in these ancient days where these statues are everywhere, you guys. It's right in our faces. what if the RH is related to a protein that is found in animals' blood, aka rhesus monkey? Maybe people who do not have this Rh positive factor, maybe their blood never got mixed with the animals. Just another theory, and this one, it's making sense. And down the rabbit hill we go.
So we know that the Department of Defense settled a $90 million deal with Albemarle Mining Company in September of 2023. In the beginning of 2023, there was that egg-laying crisis that made the egg prices skyrocket. I did a lot of research on this because I was intrigued. I had gotten chickens in high school, and I'd done a lot of research before getting the specific breeds that I thought were best for my location. And this situation was so interesting to me because there were local farmers posting that if they fed their chickens local feed or feed that they made on their own, that the chickens had no problem laying eggs. But every single chicken feeding company is either directly or indirectly owned by Purina, and the top stock shareholders in that are Vanguard and BlackRock, along with many companies nationwide.
The CIA don't answer to the president. The FBI don't answer to the president. None of the three-letter agencies answer to the president. They can give a damn about what a damn president thinks. Now, that wasn't the way it was supposed to be established and set up. There's black budget programs running using trillions of taxpayer dollars right now that we're not privy to because the Pentagon gave the contracts to private corporations, and those black budget projects are running with no congressional oversight whatsoever. None. Zero. The people who actually own this country, which is us, and the government, which is supposed to be our servant, have flipped it on us in our mind. And we think that they own us. We actually are supposed to own them. They steal our money, and they put it into these black budget contracts, and they siphon trillions of dollars away, and they're all on the take. All on the take. Like Halliburton, $33 billion. Dick Cheney, and George Bush Jr., and Obama. All that money they chopped up on that fake war out in Iraq over the fake attack. The attack happened, or the attack definitely happened. They really had a 9/11, but you never find out who really did 9/11. If you want to know who really did 9/11, go to my TV network, and for free, you can watch Billy Carson Uncensored on the Forbidden Knowledge TV app. And I break it all the way down. I name places, people's names, sources, and everything on Billy Carson Uncensored.
Yeah, I agree. It is time for a change. Without all of us people, there is no government.
Coca-Cola has a new holiday ad. I want you to take a close look at your screen and see if you notice anything. It's AI generated, the whole thing. Fans do not appreciate the Coke giant trying to fool them. Someone writing on social media, we are living in the worst timeline. Someone else calling it lifeless. I think that's a bit much. But a spokesperson for the company told Today.com that this year's holiday ads were crafted with a collaboration of human storytellers and the power of AI. Here's the thing. They also said the video was meant to pay homage to their classic 1995 Coca-Cola commercial. They also are putting out several holiday ads like this one right here that does feature real people. Okay? Yeah, the things that people have time for. I got some other problems in my life.
I'm sure we're going to start seeing a lot more of these AI generated ads in the near future. AI is just everywhere at this point.
How did humans even make this? We are zooming in on a CPU of an iPhone. This is a human hair. That thing in the beginning, that was a human hair. Look how small this is and how detailed. Now, forgive me for not having knowledge of this manufacturing process, but how do they make these? It's got to be with the machine, right? I mean, look, there's the hair, and look at the level of detail. And we're all carrying these around in our pocket, and a lot of people don't really think about what goes into actually making them, right? It's pretty crazy. Somebody's got to let me know in the comments, like, if you work in manufacturing for this, but let me know. Seriously, I'm really curious.
Trump stuff right here, and here's where some of the weirdest ones are.
So people have pointed out this card as being a lot like Trump. Like, this card was in the news that people said it looks exactly like Trump. And it literally says, at any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day. And it looks exactly like a picture. There's one picture in particular of Trump yelling. And I mean, the wording on that, the fact that it looks like him, the sniper fact, his kind of politics that he's campaigned on, really, really bizarre. That's a freaky card to me. It really looks exactly like him. I mean, I can't. That's really bizarre. There's also this card that people thought seems like it could be linked to Trump. Near miss, like they tried to take him out, but they didn't, which is an event. Teflon coating, meaning that the person's like essentially indestructible, which people think is talking about Trump. Play this card when a personality is attacked and enemy media groups are involved. So it's interesting, you know, Trump being attacked twice and them not being able to touch him, I thought was a really interesting part of that card that seems relevant. Then you've got a blonde-haired guy with bullets on his head. The second bullet looks, you know, like it shot right next to his ear, kind of like the first assassination attempt, how it whizzed right by his ear, which is just another. There's a lot of like sniping and assassinations in this game, and they all, I don't know, they seem like very relevant nowadays after the stuff that happened this year.
I must admit, the guy on that card does look just like Trump, almost identical.
All right, this message is for Joe Rogan. If you know Joe Rogan, please let him know about this. The reason I wanted to talk to him about it is because I know in his, his logo, he's got the third eye on top, and I feel like this just really fits with that concept. This is a sculpture about consciousness. This is a sculpture about humanity, how we view everything through these little pinpricks in our face, our eyes, that create a whole experience, a panoramic experience of being alive. My name is Nathan Robles. I'm a sculpture artist from Kennewick, Washington. Hardly anybody knows who I am, and I'm trying to see what I can do to change that, because I've got something that needs to be said, and I'm pushing something that I think is really important for people to know about. So Joe, I would love to talk to you, and I would love for you to have this piece. So what do you think? I'll drive it down to you wherever you are, and we'll talk about it.
Here's what happened in the last 24 hours of geopolitics. The US decision to allow Ukraine to use long-range missiles against Russian territory has escalated the conflict, with Russian lawmakers warning of an immediate and severe response, including threats to Ukraine's statehood and comparisons to the onset of World War III. At the APEC summit, US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed that decisions on nuclear weapons must remain under human control, emphasizing the need for prudence in developing AI for military use. Meanwhile, Xi signaled readiness to work with US President-elect Donald Trump, stressing mutual respect and cooperation to stabilize US-China relations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky criticized German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's call with Vladimir Putin, warning it undermines efforts to isolate the Russian leader, as Scholz urged Russia to negotiate a just and lasting peace. Ahead of the G20 summit in Brazil, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged the bloc to lead on peace, climate action, and equitable access to technology, calling on G20 nations to commit to bold reforms.
Man, all this war talk, and we're all just trying to live out here.
The only thing I've ever regretted was taking care of people that I knew would not take care of me. Doing things for people, suffering for people when I know that they would not have suffered for me, that they wouldn't even do half of that for me. I've always regretted investing into something else, someone else, for their sake, for their benefit. It always left me dry, and I was drained. The one lesson that taking care of people and sacrificing myself for people taught me is to avoid it by all means.
Milking room. I hope you cows are decent. Crap on a crutch!
Ow! Ugh, my bones are so brittle. But I always drink plenty of Malk.
No way, is Malk milk really just milk from rats? If so, that is just gross, man.
Celebrities with weird hidden talents. Zendaya. She can eat ice cream with her teeth without feeling cold.
I don't. Just not. I don't feel it. Doesn't hurt.
Ariana Grande. She can mimic a baby crying. Katy Perry. She can expand her throat like a frog. Jessie J. She can sing with her mouth closed. Hailey Bieber. She can open beer bottles with her teeth. Miley Cyrus. She can make one eye twitch while keeping the other completely still. Kendall Jenner. Kendall's whistling sounds just like a real-life bird. Zendaya. Her ears can shake it up too. Selena Gomez. She can catch popcorn thrown in the air with her mouth. Timothée Chalamet. Chalamet can juggle like a circus performer.
Wow, I never knew catching popcorn with your mouth was considered a talent. Man, I could pretty much do all of these. What they talking about?
Okay, y'all, I don't know what's going on here, but it is red outside. It's red. Look at this. Why is it red outside? Why is it red? What is going on here? Is it the apocalypse? Oh my God. It's like 5:00 p.m. like November the 19th, and it is red outside. That is freaky. It is so freaky. Oh my God. Look. What the heck is happening here? Why is it red? There's no sun. It's overcast. Weird.
The world just keeps getting more weird by the day, I swear. Like, what is going on out here?
Do you guys remember this video over here where this guy's showing y'all how this mini portal works, and then you see the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights coming through? Y'all see that? Well, this lady over here is showing how they just erected a huge one in Detroit, Michigan, y'all.
Y'all see this? Now, I'm finna go up here and show y'all, because it's like it's on some type of hill, like a mound.
Y'all see that? They said this is for art, but when you look around it, there's no other art pieces around it. It is the only thing erected in this vicinity. And this thing is huge, y'all. Look at that. This thing is so big.
There's much more to this portal than they are telling us. Now I'm finna show y'all, it's on some type of hill, like I said, a mound.
Do you guys remember this one as well? This one is also in Detroit, Michigan, with the Scientology building right behind it. Y'all see that? So obviously something is getting ready to happen. This is what look, transcending, literally, about, again, going through the portal. And then the Fibonacci sequence numbers over here, because everything is in the shape of Fibonacci. And then toward the end of the video, this happens. Look at all these particles flying in the air. Look at all these particles flying in the air. And that was due to this mini portal. So if this mini portal is doing that, look at how big this thing is, y'all. Check it out. It's also the Omega symbol too. The Alpha and Omega. Yeah, things are heating up, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times.
How is this even considered art? Like, what?
Modern nukes don't have the radiation problem. Yeah, it's a different kind of weapon than the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Nuclear weapons, if they're exploded, don't have a radiation problem?
Not if there's a hydrogen bombs. Not in the way that we used to have to worry about with fallout and all the rest of that. What you really have to worry about is being vaporized, and after that, if you're not vaporized, blown to bits by the shockwave.
A lot of people are worried about, and I've heard this about India and Pakistan also, if they exchange their nuclear weapons, that the radiation in the atmosphere would come over here, would go all over the world, even if it was just a local exchange. Now you're telling me that that is not a worry?
If they use fission bombs, yes, that would be the case.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
If the Earth is really rotating, then why are airplanes flying? They could just go up in air and stay in the same location and wait for the Earth to rotate and then land. Why do they need to fly? Isn't that concerning?
Everybody that went to Genghis Khan's funeral was murdered. No one knows where Genghis Khan is buried. Marco Polo tells that 2,000 slaves attended his funeral, were killed by the soldiers sent to guard them, and that these soldiers in turn were killed by another group of soldiers which killed anyone and anything that crossed their path in order to conceal where he was buried. Finally, the legend states that when they reached their destination, they committed suicide. No one will ever know.
Now you gotta get up. I gotta do some stuff. Come on, Willa. Willa, come on, Willa. Come on, Willa. Scoot over. You can do it. Come on, Willa. Come on, Willa. Come on. There you go. Now scoot over so you won't fall off. There. Now. It's okay, Willa. I hope you don't fall off. Oh, so
That has got to be the most spoiled pig I've ever seen in my life. Just a big old baby.
If you want to clean your body, mezcal, when you wake up in the morning, before you brush your teeth, before you do anything, you take a nice shot. That will do what kills all the germs inside your stomach.
A shot of what?
Mezcal in the morning. Before you wake up, before you brush your teeth, before you drink any water, you take a nice shot of mezcal. That will kill all the germs in your stomach. If you do that for 1 week, no more than 1 week, all your stomach problem will be gone.
I'm going to try that.
I had an ulcer, bro, for years, taking pills and shit, never helped. I came in and I did the mezcal. I haven't taken a medicine. It's been 6 years. I haven't bled. My stomach hasn't bled. I go to the doctor in the U.S. to do my he's like, you're lying. Somebody must have done something to us. I'm like, no, man, it's just mezcal. So much that he started taking mezcal. I sent him from here 5 liters every 3 months.
Okay, so for 1 week, a shot right when you wake up?
Wake up, right before you brush your teeth or anything, you take it. This is an ant.
I've heard it. These are a great source of protein.
And you clean your stomach.
They clean your stomach. Didn't hear that. That's
if
clutch.
you have ulcers and stuff, they're really...
Yeah, well...
All right, my good people, that shall be a wrap for this one. And as always, I really hope you all enjoyed this latest episode. Before you roll out though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down there in that comment section. Be sure to let me know what you think about these TikToks. And to all the people out there that always come through and show your boy Captain's channel some love, just know I really appreciate it. All right, my good people, take care out there, and I'll see you all in the next episode.